Wasn't his best. Quinn down the line looking for Pharaoh. Across the cover, Radakunda, who lost out to Pharaoh. Now John McShane, who wants a corner. And will get it. Former Altona Magic Man looking to steam forward there. In the end, did well to win his side a set piece.
Ano sa pingpit yun? Jarang.
Looks in front post. Anyway, pardon me, it was Gavin Denise with the run forward and he whipped the corner in. It's a lucky ricochet for Dandenong City. In the end, Selledge wasn't to be beaten. Another corner here. Second in quick succession for Dandenong City. South Melbourne man in Denise goes over to take again.
Sudah mau 4.000 jam tayang Jo. Saya punya akun YouTube kan, tinggal subscribe.
Shapes into the middle towards the front post, headed away only as far as Pharaoh. Across to Brady Quinn. His shot blocked en route and behind for another corner. That was goal bound. The strike outside the area from Brady Quinn. Good piece of defending too. See the ball behind for yet another Dandenong City corner. Worth mentioning, of course, that there is another game tonight in the NPL Men's Victoria. Green Gully, the hosts of that one, they play Oakley. Shape this one in again then towards the back post, headed away by the Knights defence. Samayora looks to get on the end of this, a slip from Hundalas that so nearly cost him, but he recovered well. Trevor Samakula, he loses possession but his side will win the throw.
Interesting to note how Dandy City's pressure, particularly up the ground, is really forcing a bit of pressure on Melbourne Knights. They've done well, those repeat entries, that repeat pressure, those second efforts, putting the pressure on the ball, really not allowing the Knights to settle and play out from the back. Good pressure here from the Knights in turn though.
Been able to evade it though, Dandenong City as the flag goes up on the far side. Really strong pressure though from the Melbourne Knights. It was Mohamed Samayoro there, just looking to try and win the ball back. He started really well. Almost got the goal that would have seen the Melbourne Knights in front. Marth gives it away. Gavin Denise. Now Timmins. Grant looks to support and find some in Kalmar. Miller, Legrand. The visitors just look to keep possession here. Forced to retreat all the way back to Kalmar. Quinn, and now Denise. Found Dallas. Pharaoh been quiet so far in this game. over the top. Ball towards McShane. Got to try and make something of it. Radakunda slipping, but didn't end up costing him. Now forced to retreat all the way back to his goalkeeper in Tom Manos. Pharaoh with Gavin Denise now. Forward to McShane. First time round the corner. Defended again by the Knights, who have been a staunch rearguard so far in this one. Morton. Got Sumayoro to his right. Morton continues the run. Instead now it's Radakunda. Out wide now for Jack Morton. And that's an aimless cross. Poor delivery and straight into the arms of Jasko Karanovic, who immediately got the game back underway. Denise. Wrestling the Knights player in Albano to the ground, and the hosts will have themselves a free kick.
Let him know he was there, didn't he? Really sunk in that challenge there, did Palinic. But again, you're seeing both sides, just that press and that counter press. Both sides just really not allowing either side to settle each other to settle, particularly with the play out the back. The opportunities there to really get into the defender's face, like McShane is doing now here with Marth. But really quality pressing, really quality effort by both sides in that regard so far. Okay, Mr. Melbourne Knights, you should be leading this one, you'd think, after that massive moment in the game. That early chance from Samara just couldn't quite get that ball home. Brief delay in proceedings here. Timmins on the ground at the moment. He's been everywhere tonight. Of course, he was involved in that collision early on with Jack Mon on this near side here. In the hands of the trainers now. Looks to be lower leg, like a calf. Maybe possibly even a knee even. Fingers crossed that he can continue on here.
That is the second time he's gone down, and usually when that happens, the player in question is withdrawn. So, interesting to see whether Sean Timmins' night will be ending early. Walking with the physio. All the way over, and there will be an early change for Dandenong City. Sean Timmins' race is run.
Cok, telepon Hendra dikit, Cok. Jangan kita. Telepon Hendra, soalnya lagi live.
Disappointing one for the English left back.
Telepon Hendra. Dia bilang ada.
Will play no further part this evening.
Sini dia bilang. Mau
Set to come on is Ahmed Habib, who made his first appearance of the season against South Melbourne in that 1-0 defeat, and came on
Cok.
as a substitute last week against the Bentley Greens.
Nia keren deh. Nia keren.
Played 20 minutes of the 90 in that one. Played 75 on his league debut.
Hah?
Selic. Habib's first involvement was to win possession, although he lost it almost as soon as he'd won it.
Dion.
Oh, dia letak je cowok tak isi token itu ke fila nomor 1.
Isi token fila nomor 1.
Comes over the top from Mark
Sabar.
towards Sumayoro, but seen it to touch by Tassos Undalis.
Dia tamu di sana.
Who is a capable fullback, versatile, can play on either side.
Hah? Kenapa?
Sudah easy nih, Will.
Put out to left back after Sean Simmons.
Oh. Ada nomornya kah? Nomor tokennya kah? Ada.
Back with Morton. Now Sumayoro.
Bang kopi, Coach Ed. Dia ada kopi di sini. Tapi bilang ada kopi, kok tidak dibawa di kos di sini. Sama kopi nggak? Sama kopi.
Goes
Coach Ed
along,
sama
then
dia.
whips it in. Initially dealt with Giselle back first time.
Hendra mau sini kan?
Here, down the
Coach Ed kok.
McShane.
Lagi live soalnya, Coach Ed. Ada kopi atau tidak?
Barrel to forward. Good
Boleh.
ball
Bawa
towards
sama
John
kopi kok
McShane.
sama rokok.
Got the goal,
Kalau
ball
ada.
caught underneath his feet. Quinn. Out Delano Ferro. Back in field towards the former White Eagles man. Who gets past one and was looked so inviting and looked so promising. Comes to nothing.
Needed to make a bit more of that, I feel. Dandy City have had those opportunities at the set piece from the corners as well.
Acquitted himself well in the end. Forward towards Legrand. Habib looked to help it forward, but nodded out of play in the process. Cooper Legrand, twice capped by the Mauritian national team. So a player that has had international experience. The only one in the league who has been capped by Mauritius, with Andrew LePage of Eastern Lions also representing them at international levels. It's whipped in by Hundalis. Way by Morton. To play for Dandenong City throw-in as we approach the final 5 minutes of the first 45.
Lots to like about Brady Quinn so far, I think, in this opening 40 minutes or so. He's just had that point of difference, that liveliness, those legs that I think that Dandy City have missed in crucial phases of this season so far. A very handy mid-season acquisition for the away side tonight. Again, just allows Denise that ability to have more time on the ball. I think just have that bit more run that Quinn can provide up forward, going forward as well. Being that crucial link to the like of McShane and Legrand. Go back here though. Karanovic with a long ball out there. Very well controlled too. There it is, just had that scrappy sort of attritional quality in this game. This is a very good run though.
Invited towards Sumayoro. And it'll be brought back for a Melbourne Knights free kick. Just though Sumayoro will be getting another chance to bear down on goal. Crucial bit of defensive work there. I believe by Nick Kalmar it was, who got across to just put a toe in. brought back for a free kick to the host nonetheless, Iradikunda. Aidan Bryce, back to Thierry Iradikunda. Bryce again.
Puli ko siya.
Franchi, first time!
Hey,
Sense the opportunity had arisen.
tempat listrik.
Good players know exactly when to have a hit, but then again, well off target.
Again, not afraid to take the shot on there, Franchi. I think that's the 4th shot he's recorded for his game so far. But again, just shows you, I think Dandy City have been playing Samara pretty well. They haven't given him that sort of chance to really break free. Of course, he had that big chance early on that counter, but again, I think they've read his runs pretty well. They've kept him pretty on point here. It's all through on goal. Karanovic needed to be on point there. Very little margin for error, but he stayed calm and cleared that out. Too much space left open by Dandy there, Ollie.
Rather an orthodox play, Hastag Karanovic. Not too many times you see a ball cleared away like that, but there are many ways to skin a cat, of course. And it worked on that occasion for Dandenong City. On that occasion, playing a high line, we've seen them drop deeper than that so far tonight, but caught in behind again, as they have been now on a few occasions. Legron gets there. Just to race away from Marv, as well to check and keep the ball in play, but bits off a little bit more than he could chew there. Switch of play from Morton. Samoa making the forward.
Duluan kamu.
Found.
Paling enak habis mandi ngopi.
Samoa wins it back.
Enda masih ini
Try
OTW
and knock
kayaknya.
it past Habib. Pantelides electing not to blow towards the edge of the area. Giselle. Now with Trevor Semakula as we approach the break. Selic. Ball forward towards the edge of the box. Albano. Not much behind it. And Semakula was a little bit too industrious there. Barging over Gavin Denise. A little bit too much gusto. Free kick will go the way of the visitors. Still no goals in the other game in the NPL Men's Victoria tonight between Green Gully and Oakley. Game kicking off half an hour later than this one. Iradikunda, well to make it work. Clever back flick. It's by Giselle. Now Albano here on the Knights left. Takes it past his mark, looks to whip it in! And it's almost all the way in. The ball in had Karanovic backpedaling. But in the end, it's far away from the goal line, but I'm not sure Jasko Karanovic knew that. He looked rather panicked as he moved back, but in the end he wasn't called into action. Vidalis, prodded in field by Selic. Franchi, just about keeps it alive. Who did that come off last? The answer is Josh Miller. Now the Melbourne Knights will have a corner of their own. May well be their last chance to get on the score sheet in the first half, with the break approaching. In fact, probably not, with 4 minutes of added time to be tacked on to the end of the 45. Probably for the various injuries to Timmins and Morton. So Morton set to whip this in. Does exactly that on Martin by post to Iradikunda. And they just couldn't prod it goalward, back into the middle. On Mark Selic, his shot was blocked. Cleared away by Legrand. Now it's a foot race. Habib has the ball played towards him and not quite played off him. call goes the Melbourne Knights' way. I will say, I thought that would have gone the other way. I thought that came off Ahmed Habib last, and we'll have a look on the replay. Yeah, it did. But I'm sure that Dandenong City won't care. Legrand, if you bit of footwork, Denise from deep. And that's not his best at all. Over the byline and eyeing for another goal kick. Been the story of the first half so far. A lack of end product in the final third for both sides. As it clips over the top. Looking to chase us down is Sumayoro, who'll get there first. Inside the area, across goal and ahead of Gian Albano. And another chance goes begging for the Melbourne Knights. Almost the inch-perfect delivery, but just slightly ahead of Gian Albano, who couldn't get any contact behind it. If he had, then you'd think that the Melbourne Knights would be heading to the break with the lead.
Just left a little bit too much space there, did Dandy City at the back for Sumaro to exploit. Again, he just couldn't quite get that cross right on point. Albano was lurking, Albano was getting forward, but just needed to get that a little bit lower there to need to hit that up just a bit better. But what can the Knights find here? They've got a couple minutes here. Might be a big change to the halftime talk if they're able to get themselves a cheeky late goal here.
Giselle. The goal really would change the complexion of both sides' team talk, you'd think. He's clipped over the top. Lucas Selic is onside. Can he roll it into the middle? Looking for Frangi. An expert stop at point-blank range from Jasko Karanovic. Keeps the game level. Got himself behind it. And Anthony Frangi must have thought that he'd scored. Not to be. Karanovic standing in between him and the first goal of the game for the Melbourne Knights. They're banging the door down at the moment, tonight's hosts, but just can't get it to break open. Now Morton from the set piece. Whips in, front post, Frangi flicks it on. Out of play and behind for a goal kick. And that may well be that in terms of first half proceedings. Half that has just been lacking somewhat in terms of end product. Goalmouth action, although Melbourne Knights have tried to force the issue in the last couple of minutes or so. But promising signs from their point of view as we head towards the break. Playing forward, and that will be that. Lazaros Pantelides blows his whistle for half-time. Ending a rather attritional first half here at Knight Stadium here in Sunshine. Both sides have tried hard, but neither have been able to grab the opening goal. The closest we've come
Selalu dia ada tempat cas. Yang 3.
Yang tiga colokan itu kan? Cuma sini, tadi ada bukan sini. Sini loh. Bukan ada colokan. Tiga kepala yang tiga ini.
Welcome back to Knight Stadium for this NPL Men's Victoria round 14 clash between the Melbourne Knights and Dandenong City. Almost all in readiness for the second half after a first that came and went without any goals. Still yet to see the deadlock broken here in Sunshine. We're hoping that changes in the second half. I'm Oliver Walker-Peel. We'll get the thoughts of Katie Lambeski in a moment.
Tidak ada.
Holding it across. Part of it was Price now on the ball. Giselle was also in and around it. Unimpeded heading the ball, Kalmar. Flicked on by Quinn to no one in particular. Habib helping it forward, could only find the feet of Aidan Bryce. Selic looking to turn it infield first time, Iradikunda. Now forward for Giselle. Inboard for Frangi. Giselle prodding it out wide towards Samayoro. He might look to whip it in here, instead no, he goes back for Morton. Knights have been forced all the way back to their goalkeeper, so I'm sure Luban Palanic will be pleased with that. One ball over the top, Palanic lets it bounce and in the end nods it back with no trouble to Jasko Karanovic. Quite a contrast to last week. We saw goals in both the NPL Men's and NPL Women's Victoria last week. Goals were flying in. Not the case here tonight. Up to now at least, as it's held down the line towards McShane, who was appreciative of what his teammate was trying to do, but in the end, he couldn't quite find him. Albano. Now Semakula. Bryce. Now with Jack Morton. As Dandenong City win possession back, Brady Quinn charging forward, infield to Cooper Legrand, who's inside the area, outside of the foot, well saved by Tom Manos. Great work from Cooper Legrand to engineer the shooting chance, but there was no way that Manos was letting that through. As a free kick going the way of the Melbourne Knights. The shot of frustration from John McShane just shows how unhappy he was with that decision, but what a chance for Dandenong City.
Easily their best chance of the match, easily their best sight on goal. Excellent work from Brady Quinn. I thought he took those spaces in between the lines, held up the pass really well to give Cooper Legrand just that little bit more space ahead of him. He did well to control the baton, but Manos was equally up to the task as well. So, what a start to this second half, Ollie.
Selic forward for Samayoro. Now Radikunda. Now Morton, as the cavalry arrive in the area for the Melbourne Knights. Frangi helps it on towards Mohamed Samayoro, and in the end he just couldn't quite decide on what he wanted to do quick enough. In the end it's been blocked behind for a corner, but perhaps Mohamed Samayoro just dwelled on it a little too long. And That, in the end, was to his detriment. Nonetheless, corner for the Melbourne Knights to whip in.
Ada monyet memang
Tall
dari
Timber
sini.
in there, chiefly Selic and Bryce. It's over the head of everyone. Set back and over the top from Giselle, who won't want to see that one back. I'm sure that's one he'll love to have over again, but of course won't get the chance. It's behind for another
Mantap
Dandenong City
kalau
goal
mana
kick.
tas yang dulu itu. Tas transfer.
Lots of technical quality does Giselle have, but not quite on show there, not quite
Dino
on
kayaknya saya ingat
replay,
ini.
but good intent, getting
Tapi kira
himself
besar itu.
forward, getting himself into that space to take the shot on.
Ih, bagus itu
But
tasnya
again, he
Rino.
just provides that quality, that control that I think that the Knights are going to need in this half. Again, I want to see more bouncing off some passes with Selic up the front as well, just try to get himself forward. I think Iridukunda gives that one-man central midfield feel to it. He has that ability to break up attacks. But it's going to be quite the half here as the ball is long.
Played away by Karanovic.
Sama-sama,
Farrell
betul tahu saya
for the
kawan-kawan.
Grant. Out wide towards Habib, the first half substitute. Has it taken away from him by Aidan Bryce. Of course, he was just joining us, Habib on for Timmins. And he fought back well to win that back. Infield to Legrand and blocked behind from Jack Marth, who had to be there. Brilliant work from Ahmed Habib, like a terrier there, fighting back to win the ball. Helps it forward to Legrand, who tried to help it into the middle. But in the end, behind, out for a Dandenong City corner. Which it will be Gavin Denise to whip in. One of Dandenong City's set-piece specialists alongside Nick Calmar is whipped in. Headed up into the air by Bryce. Cleared as far as Farrow. As Albano just lets that one go. Of course, we saw earlier in the year against the Eastern Lions, a team also down the bottom of the table, how the Melbourne Knights struggled to break them down here until the final 10 minutes of the game when the floodgates opened. We may well see something similar here. Farrow forward towards the ground, and in the end, his header ended up crossing the byline and behind for
Sini Astrid ya.
Melbourne Knights goal kick, which is taken quickly. Bryce forward. Calmar steps in. Quinn.
Masa dia curi ini? Masa?
Miller. And now with Nick Calmar. Delano Farrow now looking to shield the ball away from Trevor Semakula. Does well to keep it.
Baru ngerti ya.
Delano Farrow.
Ya biar dibawa pulang deh.
South
Lagi
African ball
barang-barang
start.
ini.
And a free kick there. Advantage was probably on there for Dandenong City, but not to be according to Lazarus Pantelidis.
Ih, jalannya jauh lagi. Hello boy.
Nickelodeon.
What's up? Gia, new tomorrow.
Calmar.
How you doing?
Back again to the
His name is
former West Bromwich Albion youngster in Karanovic. And a lone spell at Kilmarnock that warranted no senior appearances as well.
Tomorrow, make
So he's
sure
played at
that
some
there is
big
water
clubs before moving to
Okay.
Dandenong City.
Okay.
Habib forward towards McShane, who was brought down.
You're right.
Another player who has spent time in professional surroundings, John McShane, came through the ranks at St Mirren in Scotland.
Working tomorrow.
So he knows what it's like to play for a big club as he looks to help his new one over the line here.
You got fine.
Goes to show the amount of pedigree that's around in NPL Victoria men's circles, especially this season. Just fantastic resumes across both sides tonight.
6 times. He was posting.
Interesting to see what Dandy can put in here as Kalmar over the ball as well. Need to make something here.
It's in by Calmar, flicks on by Legrand and almost in at the far post. Drifted just over the crossbar. And again, Dandenong City comes so close to getting the opening goal of the evening. Delicious delivery from Calmar. Flicked on by Legrand, but in the end, got a little bit too much on it. Stunning delivery from Nick Calmore. We've seen it so many times, and he's produced it again.
One day,
Unable to keep his header down though, Legrand, and the game remains goalless.
Looked to be straight from the training pitch, didn't that move there. Legrand just at the near post. Calmore knew exactly where to spot him and how he wanted it. Just goes to show how important that part of the game is, and Calmore has that ability to play that ball through. Can't help but feel though that Dandy City can look to their bench where they have the likes of John Kowal and Michael Delic on the bench tonight. As much as McShane has done the grunt work, has done the hard work tonight, I think they need someone a bit more mobile, they need something a bit more quick, particularly on the breaks here, particularly trying to exploit those transitions. He's offered a great focal point, has McShane. He's kept McMath and Bryce occupied at different stages, but tonight to here.
Selic across goal! Albano! Is it over the line? Yes it is! And the damn wall has finally busted! The Knights have toiled and toiled, and finally they get their reward! Roll across goal, and Gian Albano straight over to give praise to Luka Selic. The adulation received from the Knights number 9, who rolled it across to the Knights number 10, who tapped home from point blank range. And the Melbourne Knights finally have the lead in front of their adoring home faithful on Friday Night Football.
Gian Albano's 6th goal of the NPL Victoria men's season, and what a time to do it, what a way to do it. Absolutely read that pass from, that gorgeous assist from Selic perfectly. 1-0 to the Knights, and they look to press their advantage here. They've forced a turnover.
Giselle. Now Morton as they look to round this advantage home. Selic just got his first league assist of the season, could be getting his second. Albano was offside, just been clattered by Jasko Koranovic, who only had eyes for the ball. He had a job to do there, Jasko Koranovic, unaware that the flag had gone up. Did it fairly. No ill feelings towards Jasko Koranovic from the Melbourne Knights players, which is good to see. Koranovic quick off his line to snuff that out.
Dari mana tamu? Dari
He starts to play with the free kick.
Australia. Tamu dari mana?
Afrika Selatan.
Dandenong City, they've offered something. Sat deep for large parts of this game, will have to come out. They might have a chance here. Quinn, robbed the Ranaconda, and rolled it into the bottom corner. These goals like London buses. You wait so long for one, and two come along at once. He deserves that, Brady Quinn. His first league start since coming across from Springvale.
No?
He's worked so hard, he's been brilliant,
Jauh lagi.
and he's got his goal to show for it now. The Knights caught in defence, Iradikunda robbed of it, and it's such a cool finish from Brady Quinn. One of the best players for the Dandenong City team tonight gets due reward, and parity is restored.
Take a bow, Brady Quinn. What a way to make a name for yourself at your new club. Big moment. The game demanded a response from Dandy City, and they found that in spades. Again, that turnover, that ability up to force the pressure up top. John McShane putting that pressure on Mark, putting that pressure on Bryce, leads to that turnover. And Brady Quinn had the space to poke it home. Outstanding teamwork and outstanding finish from Brady Quinn.
This game has been broken right open. Brady Quinn received so many plaudits for his work at Springvale, now moving across to a higher level and showing that he can do it here as well. As Dandenong City give it away, Iradikunda sidesteps past one, clips over the top towards Albano. This game becoming end-to-end now. Gian Albano, left on edge of the penalty area. Lucas Selic, back to Gian Albano. Well played from Iradikunda, who rolls it short. Giselle, looking for the run of Frangi, cutting it back towards Selic, who just couldn't quite get the ball inside the far post. Do not go anywhere. This game has really picked up pace, And I doubt we've seen the last of the goals tonight. Lucas Elic, some of the best football he's played all year, almost finding himself onto the score sheet. And I doubt this game's ending 1-1, Katie.
I have to doubt it myself. Both sides was begging for a game breaker, begging for someone to take this game by the scruff of the neck, take a bow Brady Quinn, take a bow Lucas Elic, and we still got a half hour to play. Massive, massive moments in this game. It's gone up another level here.
Elic looking to play it forward. Denise looked to just shepherd the ball out of play, and in the end, he did exactly that.
Cok, mana kuncinya? ATM di mana sini?
Waited so long for a goal, and we got two in as many minutes. Just shows how quickly the game can change. At the blink of an eye, we were wondering if the game was maybe going to peter out to a 0-0 draw. No chance of that now. No chance. Palinic, a man who knows his club inside and out, rolling back to Koranovic. That wasn't great from him. Pantelides with an inch-perfect pass there to the feet of Trevor Semakula. Radakunda going all the way back to Marth. And Dandenong City press high up the pitch. Morton, great sliding challenge from Gavin Denise, who looks for the goal scorer Brady Quinn. Great piece of business by Dandenong City, a player that they needed, and a player that has so far produced for them. And the Knights move forward now. Selic in the central area, looks open in behind, real chance, and it's squandered by Sumayoro. He should have got on the score sheet in the first half. He should have got on the score sheet now in the second half. The Melbourne Knights really should be back in front, but a massive, massive save by Jasko Koranovic keeps the game level. Stunning ball from Lucas Elic. And there's no other way of putting it. Mohamed Sumayoro simply has to score. And he blows the big chance. Corner now for Melbourne Knights, taken from the far side. Morton whips it in towards Sumayoro, who took it down and slipped to the crucial moment. Ricochets out of him. Behind for a goal kick, and you just wonder, maybe it's not Mohamed Sumayoro's night. So many golden opportunities have gone begging, and Dandenong City somehow survive, and somehow parity has been maintained. Remarkable stuff.
That man Selic again, creating the chances, creating that crucial movement in that forward half, allowing the Knights to spring forward opportunities. Okay, it didn't quite work out, but Samaro continuing to do the work of getting into the right places, continuing to read the play really well. Again, the concern comes when he's not doing that, but he just not on target when it matters the most, unfortunately. The man should have a brace. The man should have two to his name at this time, but again, still plenty of football in this game left, Ollie. Lots of twists and turns ahead, I'm sure, as it looks like some subs are being ready at the moment on the Dandy City bench.
We mentioned the high pedigree of the likes of Koranovic and McShane as this free kick's whipped in. All displaying how to play for a corner. Even Lucas Elic, who we've lauded all night, he's played at the top level of Croatian football in his native country. Left H&K Šibenik for NK Verice. Now, United trade with the Melbourne Knights as Dandenong City have got some substitutions ready. They won't be making them before this corner's whips in though. Towards the front post, Palinic trying to help it on. Habib now, across to Gavin Denise, who whips it in deep. Manos has got to deal with it. In fact, in the end, he wasn't required to as it floated over his head. It looks as though a couple of alterations will be made for Dandenong City. In fact, it may well be a triple change. Gavin Denise looks like one of the players withdrawn. Tassos Hundalis another. It looks as though John McShane is jogging off towards the bench. So there's the three off. McShane, Hundalis and Denise. And on Kurt Kawaku, you've got John Quall and Marko Delic. So, Katie, the player you were calling for, Marko Delic, the former U-man. Chance to be a game changer. John Quall back into the fold. He got a red card a few weeks ago against Avondale. So he's back out there for Dandenong City. Kurt Kawaku is finally back, a couple of weeks out after playing the first 12 games of the league season. In fact, he played the first 11 and came off the bench last week after completely missing against South Melbourne, but was an ever-present throughout the early parts of the season. And he's back on for his side now as the Knights looking for another opportunity. The aforementioned Kawaku on the scene. 13th appearance for Kurt Kawaku. Brought down by Sumayoro. Ended up winning it back and looks to move forward. His crossing was blocked. It's a switch of play, looking for the substitute Delic. Cross towards Kual. He looks to try and chest it down. Stepping in around Akunda. Now with Marth. Plays the ball out wide. Infield now for Anthony Frangi. He looks to play the ball in behind, and the flag is raised. That was a tight one. The assistant referee quick to raise his flag, and once again, Mohamed Sumayoro was luckless on that occasion, and that is his final act. Somehow, Mohamed Sumayoro has not found his way onto the score sheet, and especially if Melbourne Knights don't take maximum points from this game, he'll be very disappointed, but otherwise, he's played brilliantly. On his place
Malam cinta.
is the Falcon.
Dia be? Di mana sayang? Di kos? Hah? Tunggu siapa? Risa, sudah kerja di situ kah? Sudah kerja di situ? Risa sudah kerja di Denpasar. Ah, tidak apa-apa. Jadi Risa kos di situ? Iya. Pamati kah? Hah? Pamati. Hah? Pamati. Ya, Nick minta air. Mana dia? Pergi antar tamu beli cas. Di mana? Tamu. Hah? 3-3? Iya. Tiga semua? Baru satu. Mana dia? Antar tamu. Kemana? Beli cas. Pakai motor? Iya. Motornya tamu? Motornya Male. Iya kan? Iya. Tidak ada motor tamu? Dia cari, masa uangnya cuma 65.000 per hari. Oh, kemana itu tidak? Yes. Baik-baik, Pak. Baik, ya. Aman? Aman, tidak apa-apa.
Saya pikir kamu dipukul sama dia kan ya.
Woi, anu dia.
Untuk saya ke bapak kesini sudah mati tuh.
Hastag sudah dipecat?
Hah?
Sudah dipecat?
Oh,
Hah?
So, yang pecat
baku
bos.
gantian. Kita yang pecat, bos.
Cocok, Sam.
Telepon sebentar ya.
Sila 3 tidak tamu, saya masuk ya.
Enggak ada, iya ya. Kolam.
Jangan saya.
Halo.
Kami ke atas.
Hastag sudah dipecat kan?
Jam berapa pulang?
Hmm?
Arisa.
Ya?
Jam berapa? Jam berapa pulang kerja?
5 tadi.
Hah? Jadi kamu kos di situ? Kos di Denpasar sekarang?
Fokus di cari motor deh.
Ya, ya.
Ya, fokus tuh sudah kalau kepala ibu deh.
Arisa. Dengan siapa kos di situ? Dengan siapa Risa kos di situ? Dengan siapa kos di situ? Sendiri. Hah?
I want to see.
Dengan siapa kos di situ?
Dia kelihatan dapat.
Arisa? Hah? Dengan ini Hendra Putimi. Kamu mau ketemu sama dia? Sama kalian punya nama. Resa lagi. Resa, Risa, sengsara sudah kita.
Orang mana lu?
Tembore. Risa. Hai. Asih sembunyi tai.
Orang mana?
Malu dia. Sebentar lagi telepon ya. Sebentar ya. Risa. Sebentar deh, telepon ya. Sebentar lagi telepon ya. Dadah. Woi, dari anu dia. Rute. Terpercaya dia.
Temannya ke Hendra kah? Temannya ke Hendra kah?
Tidak, waktu sama tinggal sama Robert dulu. Namanya Robert. Resa,
Ya.
ambil nanti anaknya Sumba satu ya. Resa.
Anjing biasa kah?
Sumba.
Ya kak, anjing biasa dari mana kah?
Paling ikut Sumba lagi matang.
Biasa dari mana sih tadi?
Besok sama salahnya kerja juga ya. Iya. Bawa ini tamu satu orang kecil. Masalahnya mau pasir di pasar. Yes. Hah? Saya sama Dion tadi. Saya suruh Dion ambil nomornya supaya kamu aman.
Sudah semua komplit langsung sama dia.
Iya.
Sudah.
Udah tahu lagi Dion, masalahnya Dion tadi nonton bola dia bilang.
Nah itu kurang gesit tadi itu. Iya. Hah? Dia? Kenapa enggak?
Tidak, kayaknya ini yang mental problem kayak dia. Soalnya tadi kan begini tadi yang berapa? Ceritanya sebentar. Sebentar kita baru cek dan cek.
Enggak. Nggak mungkin. punya? Gimana? Bagaimana cara balasnya ini? Kan biasanya bermain
Usually play under party on
antar partai.
party on or part 5 and middle group dan grup yang sama kami bermain setiap
Hari
hari
Rabu di
Rabu
Minggu.
di minggu
Tapi kalau mendapatkan hari khusus,
we get special rate with those group.
gimana cara biasanya? Bawa
Mereka
balas.
dapat harga spesial dari grup itu karena mereka booking setiap hari yang Rabu itu.
Kalau mereka ikut grup gitu.
Grup. Tergantung dari kamu, kalau ada dari bosmu harga spesial.
Tidak, kenapa dia ngomong saya?
Hah? Kamu kelola itu restoran.
Mereka pindah semua.
Ya?
Mereka pindah semua.
Pintar kelola aja mereka. Hah?
Kenapa kita nama
Ah, di sini sudah panas soalnya. Kipas. Hah? Apa?
Gimana ceritanya kamu bisa berantem gitu?
Weh, saya tidak tambah-tambah, saya tidak kasih kurang. Dengar, lucu. Pertama, aku ambil dia di atas.
Hei, sabar. Halo. Sabar deh.
Aku ambil dia di atas. Aku ambil dia di atas dengan air. Aku ambil dia di atas pertama dengan tukang lon. Pengaruh mungkin gara-gara itu yang robek itu.
Terus?
Tuh. Nah sudah. Dia suruh saya bersih. Lanjut bersih. Habis bersikat-sikat itu tuh. Lanjut bersih. Tiga. Saya bersih. Pertama, kotoran anjing semua. Sadis. Banyak kotoran anjing di villa 3 itu. Ibu tak lihat, saya yang lihat. Saya bersih bulu-bulunya semua. Banyak dibantal-bantal. Lengket. Tuh. Lengket sampai keluar semua. Baru di kamar mandi tuh. Saya sikat-sikat semua lagi. Karena soalnya di kamar mandi itu berhamburan kayak macam dia punya sabun-sabun itu. Saya sikat lantai. Dia datang, dia marah saya. Dia kamu belum kerja. Saya cuma diam. Saya cuma senyum gitu. Kalau saya sudah sikat-sikat sudah capek sekali.
Iya, tas gitu terus.
Pasang semua tuh, pasang spray apa semua tuh.
Sendiri.
Endra, sumpah, yang kamu lihat seperti biasa. Cuman Endra, dia angkat saya punya itu tuh. Dia angkat tuh, baru dia kasih miring tuh, dia kasih miring. Dia balik lagi. Dia bilang, ini tadi kamu pasang miring. Ah, perasaan ibu tadi yang sorong ini. Saya bilang, oh, berarti ini orang memang ada masalah di otaknya ini. Iya, dia bongkar sapunya pertama tuh. Ini tidak rata tuh. Sudah Aisyah sudah bilang, Aisyah sudah malas dari sini. Saya sudah bilang, Aisyah sudah down. Tuh. Tapi saya masih sapu. Dia masuk lagi, dia bilang ini masih miring. Dia yang sorong.
Terus
Dia yang hambur. Saya bilang,
kasih lurus.
saya tidak kasih lurus. Karena saya sapu. Tapi sudah bagus toh. Dia tolak itu, baru dia angkat lagi spray. Ini tidak bagus ini. Kan bagus kalau menurut saya. Pas dia yang pasang itu jelek juga, lebih parah dari saya punya. Tahu sih saya bilang. Tapi kamu punya memang aku rapi sekali. Jelek sekali dia punya pasang. Ini cara pasangnya begini. Coba kamu bantu saya dari sana. Dia minta tolong bantu. Saya rasa lucu saya pasang. Kalau saya bilang, oh iya Tuhan lebih bagus saya punya tadi. Sumpah saya. Cuma lantaran dia memang tadi panas gara-gara lontong.
Terus apa ya bilang?
Saya yang bilang, Bu, kalau saya masih di sini bilang, kasihan nanti ibu marah-marah terus sebentar. Bilang oke, kamu bantu dulu dan saya. Kayaknya memang sudah entah terlalu. Karena dia kan pegang semua tuan rumah di sini. Pegang tuan rumah. Tuan rumah di sini tidak tahu kita ini kerja. Karena gaji kerja semua. Tapi jangan kamu ke stadion ini. Saya dari pegawai di film 4. Ibu kasih tahu di sana. Saya sudah dia kasih tahu dulu. Dan kamu kerja di sini. Saya bilang, iya kayaknya bos iya mental problem ya. Begitu memang dia tuh ganti-ganti terus karena dia yang pegang owner di sini. Sebenarnya itu harus sekitar 3 orang 4 orang, tapi dia pegang owner tuh, jadi gajinya kerja semua. Tapi itu menangnya, saya bilang kau tidak apa-apa deh. Makanya dia
Tidak satu ada nih Pak.
tidak satu belum cuma ketemu sama ibu tadi tidak satu. Dia check in jam 2. Ah ini dia baru check in.
Oh,
Sama
tidak satu dia yang punya.
semua owner di sini dia ya dia yang ketemu. Ya. Nanti kamu minta kalau ada komplain kalau ada kamu atau kamu aman. Dia enggak terlalu parah. Tapi dia bilang, tapi tadi selama pas sudah selesai kita kemarin itu baik terus dari saya. Pas sampai di kantor, saya bilang, dia bilang, Dio, kamu tidak sesuai dengan ekspektasi saya. Saya bilang, iya bu, tidak apa-apa bu. Jadi kamu mau kerja di mana sudah? Saya bilang mungkin balik saya punya kakak bu kerja di sini. Oke, sana kerja baik-baik ya. Nanti gajimu saya bayar di bulan depan ya, tunggu uang masuk. Saya bilang, oh berarti tunggu transfer dari Indonesia. Berarti saya bilang dong, betul yang ini yang ada ibu dulu yang film 4 ini yang dia bilang dari sana.
Ibu dari mana?
Yang versi film 4
Nama?
orang Bali. Dia kasih tahu ke saya. Tapi dia kasih tahu saya sekitar 4 hari 3 hari yang lalu. Ada yang kolam juga ada. Yang kolam juga ada. Yang kolam yang laki-laki yang ibu itu bilang, dia bilang, kamu kerja di sini. Bukan saya pancing gitu, kayaknya bos ini sedikit gangguan. Dia bilang, begitu memang dia itu cuman bagusnya dia yang pegang ini 3 kilo. Saya bilang, ya memang dia punya rezeki sih.
Dua pintu itu juga tidak satu bulan tadi.
Mana?
Kayaknya nih.
Ya.
Pasang pun bisa. Bisa di rumah.
Soalnya dia tidak tahu ini saya Endra. Dia tidak tahu saya sikat kamar mandi tuh.
Iya.
Tapi dia langsung datang.
Terus siapa yang angkat ini tadi?
Mana?
Yang dua ya?
Hah?
Kayu-kayu.
Kayu-kayu mana?
Kamu sama dia? Mana? Hah? Kamu sama dia? Bukan deh, siapa angkat itu? Bukan. Ah, tidak satu kayu. Oh, oke. Ibu ada yang dari tidak satu. Iya, dia yang angkat. Kenapa cepat? Tidak, makanya rumah harus saya dari mana? Oh, dari mana? Siapa yang angkat kamu ini? Belum lagi tanya anu tuh saking sampai dari tiga itu anu itu ada warna orange mau dia bilang apa sih kamu pesan bom gitu ke cinta dari mana saya kira aku yang apa barang sini saya cuma bawa sikat aja terus dia tuh dia bilang mengapa kamu bilang kamu pesan saya bilang aku bu saya bilang terserah dari ibu saja kalau ibu bilang saya saja saya kasih tahu gitu. Nah, tambah lagi dia emosi. Saya sikat di kamar mandi, tapi saya sudah kasih bawa tempat tidur. Semua dua-dua. Dia balik. Wah ini tidak ada ini. Ya sebenarnya, ya akan.
Langsung kerjaku.
Begini. Ya. Coba kamu lihat dia naik kenapa sekarang. Iya. Pas saya kesini terjadi sebenarnya. Pasti angkat itu tuh. Pasti angkat itu tuh. Saya lanjut sampai saya cuek dia. Benar. Dia bilang
Yo ini kamu tidak lihat ini kamu yang kerjakan. Jawa ini orang yang berarti mental problem itu saya sudah lihat kalau orang yang setengah masa mental problemnya mereka tinggi besar itu mental problem sama-sama mental problem. Kalau sudah semua ini siapa makan ini? Nah itu saya nggak tahu. Dia mungkin jadi baik kanan dingin jadi baik. Besok seminyak kerja. Wits. Yo? Ya air. Kan dia biar tidur sini dia bilang tuh. Ya. Dia sudah tidak kos lagi. Coba ya selamat. Ini pakai nacok. Ya, Reza yang punya jaket itu. Kayak Fernando ajak party malam, cuma aduh besok mau kerja, saya bilang maaf saya. Ambil nanti anaknya semua satu, mau besar sekali sudah tetes. Sudah ada? Belum, besar sekali badannya. Ya, besar sekali. Nikah sama siapa dia? Anak anjing yang itu lokal kan? Yang lokal dengan yang Jerman itu, Koa. Fernando bilang, 2 orang Koa. Iya, aduh bagus tuh. Sumpah matanya biru. Tidak mungkin anaknya matanya tidak biru. Pasti ikut mamanya. Ada nanti. Kita pakai kandang itu nih. Sama suara. Mama yang tete sudah besar sekali yang badannya amat sumpah Tuhan nih. Jangan lupa nanti kasih laki saya. Kita masuk buknya. Fernando bilang kasih 2 minggu dulu tuh, berapa lama nanti. Fernando bilang kamu sudah cari mungkin itu. Dokternya bilang itu antara 7 sampai 10 itu. Anak? Iya, kalau lihat dari badan. Sengsara saya bilang Fernando. Sadis, gimana? Saya bilang di sana itu di kapal itu biasanya sih. Saya mau cari di mana sudah di orang ini. Kurang apa? Mau yang mau piara semua. Banyak telur rumah kerai cok. Iya. Ambil itu. Aduh. Siapa dah? Siapa isi selama ya? Lexi hancur dia bayar 1 juta. Oh sih banyak lagi temannya lagi. Banyak kalau ada kita cari aja. Pakai nanti ke buah Bruno. Jangan ya. Nama Bruno, cewek. Dia yang. Cuma yang saya takut karena Dion bilang cok bantu saya nanti di sini kalau malam saya tidak tahu apa-apa. Saya bilang Dion. Ya, saya ajar kamu sampai kamu tahu, tapi saya tidak bisa kalau ada ibu. Sekalipun tidak ada ibu begini, takut juga saya bisa dipecat kamu karena saya. Kalau seandainya dia tiba-tiba datang. Iya. Kalau dia datang, itu sih kan besok saja kerja tuh. Dapat uang dia makan, bisa
bayarkan dia. Amat sangat lepas aja. Tiga satu.
Satu.
Tiga tiga.
Kenapa seperti itu?
Dalam
Oh,
kamar.
ini
Kan dia buka. Dia buka los pas kita bersih bersih. Tiga satu. Satu, dua.
iya.
Man sekali lebah di dalam.
Bersih sekali tadi kita tidak.
Bersih sekali. Dion datang tinggal pel saja di ruang tamu. Saya bilang
Dia
tuh.
bilang lama.
Hah?
Dia bilang lama dia.
Ya lama karena dia tidak tahu saya masih ikat kamar mandi, batangkap lebah. Endra, pokoknya itu saya bilang apa yang dia lihat. Lurus apa yang dia lihat. Apa yang dia lihat dia.
Kalau saya kasih bersih semua, kasih pel tempat meja itu. Kalau yang masuk, karena ini belum ya belum maksimalin itu. Nanti kalau sudah semua itu baru saya masuk. Itu modelnya.
Kalau saya kalau dia marah tidak mau tahu. Memang dia orangnya Endra. Kita harus lawan, cuman saya tidak bisa lawan orang kalau bicara, itu saya punya lemah.
Sama saya itu. Apalagi tadi saya kerja.
Begini tadi saya rasa kasihan itu yang pas dia bilang begini. Terus kamu sekarang kalau saya pecat kamu langsung pulang? Iya bu, saya langsung balik saja bu, ambil saya punya barang. Langsung dia bilang, jangan dulu Gio, kamu bantu dulu saya. Saya rasa kasihan deh. Oke dan bu, saya bantu dulu.
Sadis pecatnya.
Dia ulang minta tol.
Bajingan itu langsung jalan itu.
Kalau orang jahat itu,
orang Bali pernah gitu.
pukul langsung itu lagi.
Orang Bali pernah gitu coy, yang temannya Lexi itu, makanya Lexi sendiri cerita di sana ke Bali tuh. Orang Bali itu. Dia bilang, Pak Made, itu di dalam itu belum Pak Made sudah pel, soalnya ini hujan. Pak Made, itu di dalam tuh masih basah. Ini kita ini. Kan hujan gerimis habis itu. Sudah pel Pak Made kesini lagi. Pas hujan sudah berhenti, dia masuk. Pak Made, saya kan udah kasih tahu Pak Made tadi. Kenapa Pak Made masih dulu di sini? Pekerjaan belum selesai di dalam. Cicing keleng kami lepas. Mati waktu itu jalan gitu. Orang kabur dari luar kan. Lex nggak bisa kan. Ya, Lex bilang, Hendra, dia mau pukul itu masalahnya. Ada saya waktu itu terus saya bilang sabar kepada saya itu.
Hati-hati dia kalau dia dapat orang.
Dia berantem sama tamu.
Kejar sampai di tangga. Kejar sampai di tangga Resa. Dari Villa Satrik sampai di sana.
Kamu terus pakai cie atau apa?
Nik tadi datang ke sini. Nik tadi datang sini, Gio. Besok pokoknya saya tidak mau saya punya istri komplain. Saya besok pergi selama 1 hari. Saya bilang, Nik saya sudah dipecat. Oh, kamu sudah dipecat? Saya iya sumpah. Tapi saya bilang ini saya punya teman.
Apa masalah?
Hah? Langsung dia tanya. Langsung duduk dia. Betul kamu dipecat sudah Nik? Dia bilang iya Nik sumpah. Dia langsung aduh. Jadi kamu bagaimana sudah? Mau bagaimana sudah nih? Saya bilang banyak kerja. Yang dibalik. Jangan ya. Banyak, Indra. Itu cewek. Dia pas masuk saya di grup orang sosial itu, di grup teman-teman yang mau butuh ojek selama seharian antara belanja. Saya sudah masuk di situ. Saya tidak bisa jalan. Kalau jalan dengan bule, tidak terlalu minta uang saja. Minta kerja.
Gimana airnya nanti kita pergi diam bisa tidak? Iya.
Bisa, yang penting ajar dulu dia kalau cek yang di atas. Kalau yang di atas tidak jalan, cepat kasih nyala. Nik minta air. Dia chat kamu pam mati.
Jangan tidak air itu. Hanya paham jalan. So gimana mau pamit? Saya bingung lagi. Gimana buka gimana tutup? Mas, macam mana? Bingung selesai. Kamu masih nggak tahu gimana posisi buka lah?
Dia tidak mau jalan kalau sama 3 orang. Dia cuma 2 orang.
Ya, dia cuma bayar. Tapi dia nggak izin. Dia nggak berani. cek. Kelihatan lagi.
Masalahnya
Dia sudah begitu-begitu. Ya, dia sudah tapi kerjanya nanti takut pecah lagi cara apa sih? Iya. Kamu aja pun kok pakai cara. Tapi saya kalau pakai cara itu ya. Maksudnya kamu sapu cepat tapi kebersihannya itu tertutup. Tapi kamu lolos terus dari pandangannya kita yang sapu kan kamu nuntut pelet bisa semua pola bisa makanya dia pertahankan kamu. Tapi memang orangnya ya. Ini ya saya ajar dia biar dia tidak bikin secara saya. Dia datang tadi itu saya belum makan, aku sendiri. Yang penting kamu kerja. Gimana secara satunya dia? Imut kayak sama. Imut kayak cowok. Tinggal dulu. Cowok gak imut. Tapi itu dia nggak mau tahu. Pokoknya itu kita harus cepat. Entah itu masalah kayak macam di kamar mandi itu ada berhamburan apa-apa. Berhamburan tadi itu kayak macam sabun-sabun itu tuh. Saya takut dia cek. Tapi saya sudah ambil bantal. Saya belum sapu. Saya sikat semua dulu itu lama. Di kamar mandi yang atas, yang bawah tidak. Itu saya sikat semua. Bagus keluar dia punya lubang. Habis itu saya sapu belakang di kamar mandi dulu. Sementara saya sapu di situ, dia dapat saya masih di dalam itu. Dia kamu ngapain di situ? Ini kenapa kamu sih? Ini sudah mau hampir jam 1. Padahal selesai pas dia datang jam. Padahal kamu juga cekin sore. Selesai saya itu, kalau saya itu bisa sampai jam 3. Dia datang jam 2:30. Tinggal saya bilang dia, saya sudah pilih kamar bawah dan itu sudah rapi. Ibu saja tidak berani bongkar semua kasur kamar bawah. Karena dia cuma lantaran marah saja. Makanya dia tunggu kan larang kamar bawah. Gara-gara sobek itu yang terpakai. Gara-gara sobek itu. Iya. Baru gara-gara handuk lagi. Misalnya tumpahan chemical dia. Sobek itu tadi. Kalau tidak mau takut ya kita disalahkan. Memang mental problem itu. Apa yang dia salah lagi? Kalau ngomong baik-baik itu. Saya sendiri kan dia masalahkan ibu. Saya memang saya ambil itu, tapi saya nggak tahu. Saya nggak ingat dari kamar mana. Tapi saya nggak kasih tumpat chemical di kamar ini. Saya tidak bawa chemical. Ibu lihat sendiri apa yang saya bawa ini. Ember saya taruh di luar. Bisa apa? Bisanya saya bilang biarpun tapi kalau kamu marah dia langsung bilang. Kalau saya agak sedikit bentak dia langsung tambah emosi. Tapi kan pasar rasul terus kamu mau kemana sekarang? Ibu sudah pecat pulang saya. Jangan dulu begitu dia bantu saya ini kamu mau check in masih terima ya saya kasihan juga saya mau saya kasihan dia itu pasti marah sama kamu dia diam marah emas biasanya dia pala nih kan gitu sebenarnya dia marah itu istrinya dulu ya sudah dulu kita kan dulu kan dia marah istrinya bule iya kamu gitu kita ada kasih dulu begitu emang itu kan itu loh ini yang warna hitam ini cepat dia yang marah istrinya bule terus suaminya datang dari bayangan ya semua itu belum itu rani bentar diam dulu Ini tadi mulai bermain di sini. Pasal ini saya sudah bisa. Oh, dia udah serius. Gimana? Kita pergi dulu ya. Pergi dia datang. Dia masih pakai juga yang lalu. Garam dia ya. Garam dia. Baca dulu dulu. Baru ajar dia nanti kalau hidup kan sama mati. Iya. Cepat kamu datang ke sekolah. Besok pagi saya lanjut kamu. Saya kira gini di Lombok. Lalu. Surat sampai mana? Hah? Sampai mana? Kenapa? Ada video nih. Surat sama kamu. Oh iya, kan yang bawa itu kan. Iya, bisa beda. Kita ke Ferry Coksin lagi. Saya mau makan di juga ya. Ini tadi saya beli sama gorengan. Datang dari sini saja pergi ke sana kan? Itu selalu sini besok. Dari sini? Dia bilang kemarin bisa dimana? Aku sih keluarin dari sini. Soalnya aku gimana sih? Tapi kalau itu kalau saya tahu kamu kalau orang sakit ini juga ada orang normal seperti masuk dulu mulai dia. Berapa hari sudah kerja? Maksud saya tadi kalau mau cowok mau keluar hari Senin, berhitung hari Sabtu sama Minggu. Free itu? Tidak, dia harus bilang sudah kamu keluar sendiri. Oh iya, sama semangat ya. Ya terus kamu sekarang mau kemana? Sama pulang, itu sudah pecat. Ini tamu mau cek, kamu tidak buat. Bisa bantu sendiri bilang. Baru dia upload di konten. Pertama cuma dibilang sakit, cuma bagi siram ulang yang saya sudah anu. Sudah satu. Di kamar atas. Kamar atas itu tuh. Pas ada dia bagi siram, maaf, dibilang saya ini pada dia. Terus datang dia bersiap mana lagi? Dia suruh dia pel ulang di kamar bawah, kalau saya sudah pel. Cuma lantaran dia sibuk sana kemari tuh. Dan oh ya pel di kamar bawah, kan saya sudah pel itu kan. Dan oh jangan, tapi saya masih disuruh sana gitu. Dia terserah kamu saja. Terus dia pel? Dia pel. Pasti lupa. Habis itu saya bilang pel yang di sini, di living room. Saya sementara menyapu di halaman semua. Cepat saya siram. Siram? Saya siram kan, saya sikat. Kotoran burung semua. Itu yang bernama itu. Dia tidak mau tahu, dia tidak mau pusing. Pokoknya yang dia lihat saja. Karena kita ya. Satu itu mati coba foto. Makanya saya, ceritanya saya gini hari ini coba. Saya kan kerja di rumah sana nih. Jam 5 baru pulang kan. Terus ibu bilangnya kamu di mana? Saya terus jam 4. Bisa kamu kesini jam 4. Saya masuk kan 4.30. Terus saya lihat jam di film rumah sana ini 4:20, 4:10. Sampai jam 5 katanya dia bilang. Saya terus kamu saya di sini, kamu kesini saya. Di film sana dicari bisa sama kamu. Terus ngomong-ngomong sama dia, bicara-bicara dia tentang cowok. Terus dia pulang. Saya lanjut pergi ke rumah santai. Begini kita jalan, saya di belakang tuh. Kita sama dia. Dia tidak lihat apa di kamar mandi itu, sabun-sabun itu, lengket semua di lantai. Sabun-sabun itu cewek.
sikat. Lama kamar mandi. Lama dia bilang, aduh udah. Oh, aku ini bisa yang lama. Gimana orang? Ada terlalu riba deh. So ceritanya itu seperti tadi. Memang sobek sedikit. Pas saya masukin itu lagi, tambah sobek. Tapi jangan bilang kamu. Iya, jangan bilang. Tidak, Cok. Kalau di laundry kan kalau yang putih kan mereka kasih ini, bikin apa tuh. Makanya tepatin di dapur ya. Sudah sobek, tapi saya tambahin lagi. Tidak itu. Itu kamu pikir itu kebetulan saya. Selama saya lihat orang kerja, cuma di sini ini. Saya sering bantu-bantu aku di kuliah biasa kalau yang anu pun yang kerja tidak masuk itu. Tidak ada sampai keram sakitnya kaki. Di sini sampai keram. Sumpah saya, ini bilang yang punya tidak sampai keram sama lama, sama dia tidak sampai keram. Sini sampai keram karena memang pikiran lagi, sama lagi pikiran tuh banget. Orang ini lagi, dia belum tahu masalahnya kita urus air di sini. Karena dia tidak lihat. Dia tidak lihat. Kita sudah mati ke atas ke bawah ke atas lagi. Soalnya pas kelas parah lagi. Buat bebek lagi saya siram lantai itu. Saya sikat-sikat lantai. Dia bilang di bawah kali itu kan sudah semua tuh. Tinggal di NPL itu saya sikat itu kayak dulu. Dia bilang, kamu siram dulu. Bukan itu yang saya suruh. Siapa yang siram dulu? Siram lantai. Bawa asli. Hawaii itu di mana, Pak? Hah? Hawaii. Hawaii di Amerika. Tapi dia ada di Amerika. Itu lah, booster itu.